All right, I have a project that I am going to document and film multi-part series and put it on YouTube, just kind of for my own benefit, but then also if there's anybody else out there that is kind of trying to do the same thing. So what I'm after is I have a trip to Colorado planned for the end of August, and it's July 1st, 2nd right now. So basically 2 months away. I have a race bike that I do hair scrambles here in Virginia on the East Coast, and I'd rather not take my race bike out west just beat it up for a week in the Rockies, as fun as that is going to be. But so what I did is I went and I got an old, crusty, 20-year-old dirt bike. They're cheap, they're around, and they perform not as good as modern bikes, I guess. Technology has improved, but the cost of entry is less. So that's what I did. Behind me, I have a 2003 KTM 300 EXC. Now my race bike is a 2010 KTM 250 XC. So I wanted something similar in feel, a two-stroke KTM that I was familiar with. But this bike behind me, I do not have a lot of money invested into. It is currently in pieces right now, but when I got it, it was a complete bike. And I did get it running. I was able to ride it around the yard on choke only. So the first thing I did was take the carb off, and as I got into looking at it, it just became apparent that I needed to basically start over. So that's the impetus for this video and this project is, can you take a 20-year-old dirt bike that is as neglected and as crusty as you could probably get it, and what is the cost and the time and the feasibility of bringing it back up where you could take it on a week-long trip to go ride single track in Colorado? Probably the most strenuous stress test for a project that you can do. So I have 2 months to do that. I have a good starting bike. It's complete and it runs, and we're gonna go from there. So, like I said, I just finished the teardown of it. I will show you the condition, and that's what I'm gonna do in this first video, is just show you the condition of everything in the starting form, and then I'm gonna kind of identify what I need to do. I'm figuring this out as I'm going to, and then as we go on in this project, I'm gonna keep track of costs, keep track of my hours and how much I have, and then just kind of put that out there so that other people who want to bring back an old 20-year-old dirt bike kind of have that sense. There are some videos out there I've seen, like Dirt and Iron is a guy that really spends a lot of money and kind of brings a dirt bike back to its like top form. I mean, he goes all out on his rebuilds. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. I think guys like that, they do get sponsors that give them parts and defray some of the costs. But I'm just some guy in a garage that has an old dirt bike that I want to bring back up. So I'm going to be keeping track of my costs, and then I am going to be doing this as cost effective as I can. So here are the state of things right now. There's my little dog. So the frame is, I don't know if this is a stock color for 2003, but it's kind of like this, like puke old gold. It's very, very, it's a weird color. So I don't know if that's a stock color, but you can tell, I mean, this thing is greasy. It's got oil over it. It's rusty. It's been worn out, rubbed down to the bare metal in places. So I'm just going to sandblast it and spray paint it. I'm not going to powder coat it. A lot of the bolts, you can see, the bolts are mismatched and they're rounded off and stripped. I had to do a lot of work to just get it to this stage. So obviously new bolts and stuff. Basically every bearing and bushing on this bike is neglected, beat up, and I'm gonna have to replace them. The headset, this triple tree was an absolute bear to get off. I had the top bearing glowing red, and had to wail on it for about 3 minutes just to get this thing to drop out. So, and then, you know, the PDS, the PDS top, this is a 2003, so it has the PDS rear shock. The top bushing had about a 1/2 inch of play in it. So I'm gonna be replacing all of that. There's the bottom bushing, bearing, and then swing arm bearings are gonna be redone. New chain sliders, wheel bearings. The plastic's in pretty good shape. It was missing a lower fork guard. New seals for the forks. I'm kind of debating of sending those things out to get resprung. I'm a big guy. I weigh 250. So it's kind of, obviously some work has been done on those springs, forks, and the rear spring, because they have like a suspension tuner sticker on them. But that's one of the things, you know, when you have a budget, you kind of have to pick and choose where you want to spend your money. So anyway, bearings, bushings, plastic's in good shape. Gonna sand and paint this. New bolts, places where I need it. The exhaust pipe, I think I can make work. The expansion chamber is bent a little bit, I think, but I think with new O-rings, I'll be able to seal it up good. Engine ice, new brake pads, you know, new brake fluid, obviously. I may need to rebuild a caliper or a master cylinder, maybe. I'll figure that out as we go. New chains, new sprockets. And the big unknown for me really is this engine. So like I said, I got it running, and then it wouldn't idle without choke. So I took the carb apart, and there was a bunch of gunk in the main jet and the pilot jet. So I cleared those out, and sorry about my dog. Get out of the way, please. But yeah, it's greasy, it's nasty. There's some oil coming from somewhere on this thing, and I'm gonna figure that out. But my goal is really to get this bike back together, get all the new parts in, get the bike back together in enough time that I can ride it, put the motor back in it, ride it, and see if I need to take a deeper dive into the motor. See if maybe it needs a new gasket somewhere. I probably will take a look at the reeds and replace them. I know I need a new throttle cable, new spark plug, obviously. The stator cover is, it had like a cracked area in it, so I'm gonna see if I can find an aftermarket one of those. The shifter's all messed up. I mean, again, this bike, I'm sure you can tell now at this point, the state of this bike is, you know, it's like a lot of dirt bikes out there. It's been rode hard, put up wet, neglected, you know, maybe left out in the rain, not cleaned off after every ride. So there's a lot of them out there like this, and that's the goal here. So I'll kind of do a little sum up right here. That's the goal. You now see there's a lot of bikes like this out here, crusty, nasty, neglected bikes. Is it worth it? And what's the cost to do it, to bring it back up? So that's it. I just wanted to document. I'm sure there's tons of other people that do this and make videos like this, but I've never done it. I'm gonna learn how to do it. It's a KTM just like my race bike, so I'm gonna be learning, you know, little different things that work and don't work, and you know, all that stuff. So I'm excited, and I have 2 months. So, all right, stay tuned.